Welcome to another mod spotlight. This time we will be looking at a national focus mod. Yes, it's called the National Focus Project. It is, in my opinion, the best Hearts of Iron 4 national focus mod so far. It adds national foci for 6 countries, I believe. We have Finland, Sweden, the Netherlands, Yugoslavia, Iran, and China. So yes, that is 6. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. Yeah. So how exactly are these national foci trees? Let's go look at them. Now, Finland first, because I kind of like it. It's a very small compared to some other national focus mods. It's a very small tree, but it's very balanced, which is the reason why I like it. And it's structured in a way that it kind of makes sense. There's industry and research on the left side, then a little bit of bonuses for military things. They aren't very overpowered, but they're really good because they add mostly recruitable population and small bonuses for for weird things like winter attrition, and of course very important for Finland. And a lot of forts. It's kind of nice that it's very specialized, but I like it. It's neat. Then the political and diplomacy tree is the most expanded one that, of course, has a lot to do with sort of Finland's relationship with the USSR and Germany, and it's pretty cool. Then there is the sort of vehicles and aircraft and navy, which isn't that big, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, and I really like the name of the last tank one, Theft and Learning, because of course they're stealing tanks from their enemies. It's pretty cool. Then Sweden is a little bit more expansive. There's a lot of things for doctrines and armor on the left side, and of course quite a bit of research things. Then there is a pretty big industry and political tree in the center, which has a pretty interesting mechanic called labor immigration. There's like 5 of these. Yeah, 5 foci for this, which just increases manpower in some of your provinces, which is kind of interesting. It of course increases your manpower both in terms of just the population of the state and also the recruitable population, of course. So it does give you quite a bit. Then there is the political part of the tree. It's pretty standard. You can go either fascist, communist, or democratic, normal. A very expansive industry tree. Not that powerful, but pretty big. Thankfully not that powerful. And then the diplomacy one that uses claims. You can get claims both in Norway and Denmark, which is, well, to be expected. And then a little bit of Navy and Air Force, nothing too big. So I kind of like Sweden. It's not that bad. Then the Netherlands one is, in my opinion, a little bit overpowered, and I've got an issue with it that I'll talk about later. The reason I was saying that it's a little bit overpowered is the naval one. And just look at this. It adds 6, 10, 14 naval dockyards and a huge amount of research for pretty much everything. Research bonus pretty much everything Navy. So you can get a very overpowered Navy as the Netherlands for this. Now, they're in my faction right now, so I wonder if I can see what ships they got. Looks pretty normal with heavy cruisers. And it doesn't look like they've got anything hiding about anywhere. So it looks like the AI didn't really make too big of a navy, but yeah, you can get a pretty OP navy as the Netherlands with this focus tree. Now, the industrial one is pretty nice. It's got a sort of a 2-split. You can either try to go for a more colonial focus, which of course in the end gives you a lot of resources, aluminum and oil especially. Or on the left, you can do some more military factories and as such, and then you can go down onto our more research-focused area, which is kind of cool. The diplomacy is fairly straightforward. There's a little bit of a split. There's the democratic one over here, which is for, of course, either trying to stay neutral or go with the allies. And you can even form the Benelux. And then on the left side, there is the more radical trees, with left and right. Now, one issue that I have with this might just be my unluckiness. In all the games I've played with this mod, the AI always goes right for the Netherlands. They always just pick this one, depolarize the Dutch society, and they go right. That's what they always do, and it's kind of annoying. Now this time it didn't really matter much because with the way Germany decided to play out World War II, they attacked the Netherlands before they could turn fascist, so they joined the Allies anyway. But if we go to the... Come on, I keep clicking on the airfield. If we go to the Netherlands politics, as you can see, there's a lot of fascists, so they're going to have a coup soon. Now, the next up is Yugoslavia. Yugoslavian one I kind of like. It's pretty basic, but it's effective. Not basic in the politics one, as you will see. Now, we will start with the economy ones. Pretty normal. A little bit of research bonuses, research slots, armor, same stuff that you expect. And also a little bit of recruitable population. And then the navy and aircraft is also pretty much what you'd expect, which is just not much for Yugoslavia. But then we get to the very interesting part, which is the political one. As you can see, it's pretty expensive compared to most political trees. And yeah, there's a sort of obviously democratic one, which gives you an extra research slot and quite a bit of industry actually, compared to most democratic trees in national focus mods. Now, they actually increase the construction speed, which is really cool. And then aid from the allies increases the anti-air and military factory construction speed. So it's just very nice in general. And then there's the communist one. It's pretty simple, but also pretty nice. There's just a little bit of bonuses for factories, a little bit of bonuses for group population. You can choose to either integrate the Chetniks or destroy them, which gives different bonuses. So it's pretty okay. What's really my gripe with this one is that the fascist one is called Side of the Ustaše. And, well, the Ustaše were a Croatian group, but then when you look at the... not only does it not change it to Croatia if you do decide to go fascist, it's essentially gives you the most recruitable population of any of the focus trees, which is a little bit ridiculous considering that the Ustaše were Croatian nationalists, so they wouldn't be quite as well accepted in Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro, and Macedonia, which are the other parts of Yugoslavia. Now, the diplomacy for this one is the reason that you see that Yugoslavia being so expanded. If we go to over here, Yugoslavia Redentism, it gives you claims on Bulgaria and a few parts of Greece. And I believe Albania? Not really sure if they do get a claim on Albania. No, they don't. Doesn't look like it. No, they don't. So that's Yugoslavia done for, which is the next one? China, right? It did not go so well for China this game, but the national focus is really neat. It's very expansive. There's a lot of choose one or the other focuses, which is exactly how I like it. And as you can see, it's huge. It's just insanely big, and it makes sense for China because, I mean, it's a really big country, really important country that was kind of underdeveloped, in both real life and the Hearts of Iron 4 release. It was very, very basic in its, the one I really like is the Great Leap Forward. If you're going into the more communist part, it adds the technology backyard furnace. It's ridiculous. And then, there's just a lot of political ones for both fascist, communist, and for fascist, communist, and democratic, and also just trying to stay neutral. There's quite a bit of research, but not too ridiculous in terms of the research things. And then there's a lot of diplomatic ones to get a lot of claims and the likes. There's, for example, retake Manchuria. And then if we go to the left side of the tree, where there's a lot more diplomacy, you can either prioritize internal stability, which is dealing with all the warlords and communist China and trying to just sometimes they they will surrender peacefully. Sometimes you will have to destroy them, and then you can demand Tibet. And then Redraw McMahon line gives you Casus Belli against the Siamese and I believe the British Raj. Not really sure. Yeah, it's pretty expansive. And then there's a slight bit for Navy, which also allows you to demand Taiwan. I'm not really sure if that's very realistic, but well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. But yeah, and quite a bit for Army, but not as much for Army as there is for diplomacy or politics. Then the last one is Iran, which is exactly the same as the Persia Rising mod, which was integrated into the mod as a whole. And the Persia Rising is a very, very expansive and probably a little bit overpowered mod for an Iran focus tree that essentially focuses on getting a lot of diplomacy options to Iran, especially because you can get claims on a lot of areas. For example, if we go to the right side, no, here, the center, you can get claims on Afghanistan and Iraq, Turkey, then Jerusalem. Of course, that would have to require going to war with the United Kingdom. And then you go to the left side, and you can also get more claims in the Persian Gulf, so against Saudi Arabia and UK. And there's a lot of choose one or the other in terms of things. One interesting thing is you can either nationalize oil, which eventually gives you more oil in Khuzestan, which is a province that you have, or you can do the Persian corridor, which is gives you technology sharing. So it's kind of interesting. You can either, whoa, what the fuck? Farm reinforcements. Oh wow, at peace. Wow, if you're in faction with the United Kingdom, you can get like a shitload of troops. Okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's pretty neat as well. And I believe that is it for National Focus Project. I may be reviewing a few more individual National Focus mods that are out there. They're pretty nice, and a lot of them are really overpowered as well. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching us. As always, the credit goes to the modders. They made this, not me, and the links will be provided in the description. I hope that you will play this and enjoy this, and I'll see you soon.